The top story we're tracking here on Fast Up is where 6 days after a snow avalanche in Siachen buried 10 soldiers, one army person has miraculously been found alive. For 6 days, Lance Naik Hanumanthappa was buried under 25 feet of snow in temperatures that hovered above minus 40 degrees Celsius. On the 3rd of February, Lance Naik Hanumanthappa was caught in the avalanche along with 9 other soldiers. Rescue efforts had been on since then, and according to the statement by the Northern Army Commander, Lieutenant General D.S. Huda, the medical condition of the Jawan is critical. The army has, though on the 4th of February, feared that all of them could be dead. He hoped that another miracle continues with Lance Naik Hanumanthappa, who hails from Karnataka. A junior commissioned officer and 9 other ranks of Madras Regiment were buried, and their post was hit by an avalanche at the altitude of 19,000 feet, close to the line of control on the 3rd of February. Coming back to the story that we began the bulletin with 6 days after an avalanche in Siachen buried around 10 soldiers, one army man has been miraculously found alive. For 6 days, Lance Naik Hanumanthappa lay buried in under 25 feet of snow in temperatures that were above minus 40 degrees Celsius. On the 3rd of February, Lance Naik Hanumanthappa was caught in the avalanche along with 9 other soldiers. Rescue efforts had been on since then, and according to the statement that was issued by the Northern Army Commander, Lieutenant General D.S. Huda, the medical condition of the Jawan remains critical. The army had, though on the 4th of February, feared that all of them could be dead. He hoped that another miracle continues with Lance Naik Hanumanthappa, who hails from Karnataka. A junior commissioned officer and 9 other ranks of the Madras Regiment were buried after their post was hit by the avalanche at an altitude of 19,000 feet, close to the line of control on the 3rd of February. Joining me for more details on this is India Today's Shiv Arur. Shiv, this is nothing short of a miracle.
Absolute miracle, Amita. You're absolutely right. This has just proven that miracles are really, really possible even in this day and age. Lance Naik Hanumanthappa, as you rightly pointed out, has basically survived. His heart continued to beat for 6 days after he and 9 of his comrades of the Madras Regiment were buried under tons of snow on that fateful day on the 3rd of February in that massive ice fall and avalanche near the Bana post in Siachen. He has actually survived. Lance Naik Hanumanthappa, in fact, has survived. He's in an extremely critical state. As you can imagine, he's not conscious, Amita, and he's likely to be airlifted to the Delhi Army Research and Referral Hospital today for emergency critical care. But what we can confirm is that the army rescuers who began a most heroic operation at 19,600 feet against all odds, against extreme weather conditions, very difficult terrain, and the kind of conditions that simply do not cooperate at any given point of time. But the heroic rescuers never gave up even for a moment. And even with the 10 men, buried under all that ice and snow, presumed dead a few days ago, the army rescuers had, decided that no man will be left behind. They will continue to work against all odds until they find if at all the remains of these 10 men of the Madras Regiment. And what a miracle it has turned out to be, because Lance Naik Hanumanthappa, who hails from Dharwad district of Karnataka, was actually found. He wasn't in a state to, actually hail the men, but when they detected his body with the help of, a dog squad as well as, some kinds of sensors, they actually deployed some kind of, thermal sensors to detect the human bodies buried under all that snow. They found a certain amount of heat signature from his particular body. They dug him out and realized that there was a pulse and that he was still alive. And therefore, the miracle has actually played out. The many ironies that have played out in the last few days, of course, is, clear for everyone. The fact that this is a man who, survived, under 25 feet of ice and snow in minus 40 degrees Celsius temperature conditions, for a period of about 6 days, about 144 hours, Amita. It's
right.
Almost superhuman. I mean, the people of the army find it extremely difficult operating and surviving on the surface of the snow. So it's unimaginable to any of us to think of what it must have been like for 6 days under 25 feet of snow.
Exactly, as Shiv was pointing out, an army Jawan, Lance Naik Hanumanthapa, who was buried under snow following an avalanche in the Siachen glacier, has been found alive. We just wish him well, that he comes out of his illness and has been rescued from at the Siachen glacier, where temperatures hover to -40 degrees Celsius. Many thanks, Shiv, for joining us.